name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS.
In a moment's notice, the day's top story can change. The weather can take a turn for the worst, and one score can lead to the upset of a lifetime. That's why NewsNet is working to bring you the latest throughout the day and into the night, with constant updates on developing stories and continuing coverage of the news that affects you. So be sure to join me, Remington Hernandez, every weeknight on NewsNet Evening Edition.
Good afternoon and welcome to your hour. I'm Cheryl Nutt.
And I'm Ron Nutt, and here we are. Good morning, Cheryl, as we enjoy celebrating the World No Tobacco Day.
I like that. I can live without tobacco.
For 11 years, it's been a No Tobacco Day. Now, this is, in some countries, it's a smoke-out day. In the United States, it isn't that far yet. And it is not to be confused with the No Smoke or the Smoke-Out.
The Great American Smoke-Out.
Right.
Yeah. My dad used to observe the Great American Smoke-Out every year. He tried to quit smoking. But by the end of the day, each year that he tried it, my mother was lighting cigarettes for him and saying, here. He was pretty hard to get along with.
Some of that happens.
Yes, it does.
This is also National Senior Citizen Health Day.
Ah, okay.
And about 150,000.
So what should we be doing for you?
Be healthy. Be healthy, yeah. And don't slam the old people.
Oh, because one day I might be one.
You might be one, yes. That's right.
Okay.
What do we have today?
Well, we have Dee Stewart is here. She's Park City Mayor. She's also a candidate for the 4th District County Commission. And she's here to talk about the downtown arena, the fact that they're planning this downtown arena with no parking. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to have Dorothy Gray with InterWorks Holistic Health Center. She's going to be talking about, now you'll like this, neurokinesiology.
Oh, okay.
And brain gym.
Okay.
So
got it down.
We're going to learn something today. We'll have Bucky Walters with Walter Down News. And Dr. Robin Ashenoff is going to talk about the importance of skin protection, especially for our kids this summer. So stay tuned. I think you're going to like today's show. You're going to stay here, aren't you?
I'm not going to smoke.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Hair, that's our business. We're Riverside Hair Station at the corner of 11th and Bidding. We're a cool, funky salon with modern styles and a relaxed atmosphere. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Riverside. Specializing in all hair services, we also offer tanning, nails, massage, waxing, and makeup. Gift certificates are always available. So come experience Riverside Hair Station at 816 West 11th or call 264-4807.
As the day breaks, so does the news. So while you're getting ready or making breakfast, the world is changing, and it doesn't stop when you walk out the door. That's why here at NewsNet, we work around the clock to bring you the latest developments. On today's top stories, what's happening in the world of entertainment, last night's scores, and your forecast. So be sure to join me, Victoria Idoni, every weekday on NewsNet Mornings.
Closing a deal, that point when customers commit to buying whatever they're selling. Advertising sales agents sell advertising space to businesses and individuals to expand the public's awareness of products and services. They sell ads for online and print editions of publications such as radio, television, and more. Because their income and job security both depend on it, these sales agents invest a lot of their time building relationships with their customers. They research and analyze clients' needs and prepare creative, persuasive materials to encourage them to buy advertising. Many need to meet sales goals, so are continuously on the lookout for sources of new clients, making phone calls and office visits to interest them in advertising. Agents need to keep detailed contact and communication records and be prepared to draft advertising contracts for clients. They also need to represent their employer reliably and answer any questions a client may have. Good communication skills are essential for the field and a proven record of success in sales.
Welcome back to Your Hour. I have Dee Stewart with me today, and I'm sure she's a familiar face to most people. You've seen her on television quite a bit lately, especially here on TV5. We've been running your promotion, or your campaign ads.
It feels like a second home.
Well, we like having you here, but we'll like it even better when we're closer.
Yes, we'll like it even better in Park City when you're closer.
That's right.
I can walk.
That's right. That's exactly right. So anyway, today I know that one of the things that is really on your mind, and I think it's on a lot of people's minds, is the fact that the downtown arena is being planned as we speak, and somehow or another parking has been kind of pushed as an afterthought.
It's lost.
Well, it's not even an afterthought.
It's lost. It's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I did some research because I was sure that there was parking included, a parking garage in the original plan that we voted for.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a while, in the middle of the night the other night, to dig that out, going on the internet and looking. And I finally found some information on www.voteyay.com. Do we all remember that? Remember the pin, it's behind us.
Yes.
And under parking, it said many citizens expressed a need for convenient parking for the arena, but many also like the urban parking model, using existing parking in the area to encourage mingle time at businesses and restaurants. Based on this input, the plan includes a mix of the urban parking areas and on-site surface parking facilities. The initial parking option allowed for $39,500,000 for a parking garage.
$39 million?
Yeah.
For a parking garage?
Yeah. After hearing from citizens, the county reduced the cost for parking to $19,400,000. And it was the $19 million that apparently disappeared because somehow I feel sure that we're not going to use $19 million for 375 VIP parking spots. That would be $51,749 per parking spot.
Yeah, those are
I can't see the residents of the county holding still for that, and I don't think that's the plan. But in the original projected budget, there was $19,400,000
for a parking garage
for parking,
specifically.
Additional downtown arena parking facilities and infrastructure improvements.
So where did it go?
That's
a really good question.
Okay, here's what I think.
Okay.
Cheryl, we bought a pig in a poke. We didn't know where it was going to be. They said it was going to be $84,500,000, but how did they know that when they didn't know where it was going to go? They didn't know how much the land was going to cost. Mm-hmm. They didn't know how much the building was going to cost because they didn't have a plan. But we're going to raise $184 million. Okay, so I work in the building industry. I work for an electrical contractor. I know how much prices have gone up. Mm-hmm. It just stands to reason that as soon as they pick a site, what's going to happen to the prices of the land down there?
Oh, yeah.
Skyrocket. Of course it is.
Sure.
That's why one of the things that governing bodies are allowed to go into executive session about is acquisition of land. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we bought the pig in the poke, and the pig that's in the poke now is not the pig we bought.
No.
Because the pig in the poke had parking.
That's right.
And the poke has no parking in it now. And it's interesting to me, Bill Wilson wrote an article back in November. Now, this is just November, mind you, in the Wichita Business Journal, saying that Walker Parking Consultants' estimates show a maximum of 3,000 parking spaces within 5 blocks of the proposed arena site. Okay, the industry standard is 1 space for every 3,000 seats. That means we need 5,000 seats. So if there are 3,000 parking places, we need 5,000 parking places. If there are 3,000 parking places, we're short 2,000. Now, we just talked to somebody who works here at the station, who lives in an apartment west of Old Town. There are 24 units and 4 parking spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a problem already. And it was kind of fun because these are some of the quotes that were in Bill Wilson's article. Central County Commissioner Ben Shortino said, when he was told that there would be 2,000 fewer spaces than they needed, that's not adequate. Parking is one of the biggest things we've heard during the educational process on the arena. We're going to insist on adequate parking downtown, and staff is going to have to convince us that their plan is reasonable and correct.
Now, whose quote was that?
Ben Shortino.
Okay.
Commissioner Shortino.
Okay.
Ed Wolverton, who is the president of Wichita's Downtown Development Corporation, agrees there's adequate parking for only an average arena crowd based on Kansas Coliseum attendance figures, including the 260 spots currently planned on site. Now, see, those are gone to three something. He said, as new development occurs in the area, there's not going to be any parking to support them.
Yeah.
Okay, so they want to grow downtown, and they're going to use the arena to grow downtown, but there's going to be no place to park downtown for people at the arena or anybody else.
Well, yeah, and parking downtown, you know, everybody knows parking downtown has been a problem for a long, long time.
Yeah, the developer of Old Town said, where will these people park? The county's arena parking study and Old Town's non-sports entertainment business are going to take up more spaces than there is room downtown. So you know, it's a dirty pool to take pot shots at people and not come up with a solution. And
Well, you got 25 seconds to come up with a solution.
revote.
Okay.
Revote on the current plan in November. I think that's the only fair thing to do.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense, and we want to talk about that again.
Well, we'll do it.
Okay. It's a date. We'll be back with more Your Hour. Don't go away.
Dorothy Gray from Interworks when Your Hour continues.
When your yard needs a cleanup and you need help. When your yard needs mowing and your neighbor's yard looks like this. Your shrubs need some trimming. Wichita Lawn Care does it all. Commercial and residential lawn maintenance. Fully insured, offering contactless billing to keep you safe. Fair, dependable, and on time. Services to match the budget. Excellent customer service. A Christian family business. Highly recommended on Google. Wichita Lawn Care LLC. Owner Adam Fry. 316-393-4162. We take pride in what we do.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at nationalcasagal.org.
Welcome to Jim Morgan's Dry Cleaning. We really appreciate your business.
And we are Wichita.
Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning is a full-service dry cleaner and shirt laundry specializing in high-quality and friendly customer service. We pay close attention to details throughout the entire dry cleaning process. And with over 30 years of experience in the industry, your garments will be clean and pressed to perfection. Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning is truly a full-service dry cleaner. We clean anything from suits, dresses, trousers, comforters, to draperies. What separates Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning from the other dry cleaners is we only have one location, and Jim is here to wait on you personally and answer any questions, whether you're in our store or on the telephone. Jim makes sure personally that your special requests are taken care of.
Welcome back to Your Hour. I have with me now Dorothy Gray, who is with Interworks Holistic Health Center. And Dorothy came in here to talk about neurokinesiology. And I've been practicing saying that.
You said it very well, very well.
What is it?
Neurokinesiology method helps a body through physical movement exercises, which are really quite natural and simple to do, to help the body recover reflexes that have been, in a sense, switched off. And those reflexes get switched off during the birthing process or in utero. If anything happens to the infant in utero or during the birthing process that's not totally natural, these reflexes just shut off, and they're not integrated into the system. And I say not natural, meaning cesarean births, or the mother takes chemicals to help with the pain during delivery, or the baby goes through a lot of stress during the gestation period. So those things just...
Forceps have anything to do with it?
Forceps, yes. Like my granddaughter had suction birth, so I knew she was going to have lots of reflexes off, so I've worked with her many, many times getting those reflexes to switch back on.
Huh. So how is a person affected when the reflexes aren't integrated?
When the reflexes are not integrated, then a body, if you will spend its life coping, coming up with compensation methods, which puts the body in stress, such as if a reflex called the Babkin-Palomino is off, then that causes addiction problems, smoking, overeating, nail biting, lip biting, things like that. It can also cause learning difficulties such as ADD, ADHD. It can cause TMJ problems, depression, coordination problems. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
So how are you able then to help someone determine if their reflexes are their problem?
Well, the first thing I do is I muscle check them, and that's the kinesiology portion.
Okay.
Muscle checking, I press lightly on the arm and the person resists slightly. And because the body is all connected to everything, the muscles are connected to organs, to glands, then I get a reading of what's going on inside the body, and I can tell which reflexes are off, and then I can go to work. And going to work means once I have found out what reflexes are off, then through a series of isometric movements where I push, the client resists, then I'm able to switch those reflexes back on. And it might take one session, it might take several sessions, depending on the person.
Yeah. So you also talked about Brain Gym.
Brain Gym, it's another neurological aid that we have to help us. What Brain Gym is are simple physical movements that develop new neural pathways in the brain. New connections occur that had, through happenstance and circumstances, those weren't developed, or they got the connections got separated. So through these simple physical movements, and those connections are remade.
Okay, so it's like turning a light back on.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely, yes.
Giving your brain a workout.
Yes, it makes all types of learning easier when those connections are switched back on, be it learning to read, to sing, to play golf, to dance, to play the piano, whatever it is, to improve your memory, whatever kind of learning that needs to be improved, Brain Gym can help that.
And how have you used Brain Gym?
Well, I have been a teacher for 32 years, from elementary to college, and I use it in my classroom every day, 2 and 3 times a day, depending on the kind of students I'm working with. So I've seen students that had ADHD problems, ADD problems, learning problems, behavior problems, handwriting coordination problems. I've seen them, just morph into these different human beings that are able to deal with life on a much simpler, easier basis.
Without medication?
Without medication.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I've had students that were on medication taken off medication because of Brain Gym.
Oh, that's terrific.
It is terrific.
And that's something that we should be using more in our schools.
Yes, I wish that was going on more in our schools. Wow. Definitely.
So can you show what some of the exercises look like, or how does Brain Gym work?
Certainly. I'll show you just a couple really simple ones. Taking your ears between your thumb and your index finger and just rolling your ears gently like this.
I can do that.
You can do that.
I can do that.
And what this does is this wakes up the brain. It improves comprehension. It improves
Hearing?
yes, hearing. Thank you. It improves hearing. It also helps when you're working long-term with electrical devices, such as a computer.
Okay.
You know, we get depleted sitting there in front of that electromagnetic field. So just doing this helps. Another very simple one is called the Lazy 8. That one that I just showed you is called the thinking cap.
Okay.
The Lazy 8 is just making the infinity sign. It's like an 8 that's lazy and it's laying down on its side. You do it slowly, 3 times with one thumb, and then you switch and do it 3 times with your other thumb. And you're always going up and either to the left or to the right.
Okay.
Okay. And then you complete that 3 cycle rotation. Yeah,
I'm not
right.
coordinated with my left hand.
That's actually a good sign. That means that your neural networks are looking for each other. So that's a good thing when
Are
things
they ever going to find
yes,
each other?
Yes, you keep doing that, and they will. And then after you've done that 3 cycle rotation, then you put both thumbs together and repeat it.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And do that 3 times. What this movement does is it helps integrate both hemispheres of the brain, as well as the front and the back. It also improves long-term memory, reading comprehension. In fact, I always have people just on the spot say, what can I do to improve my memory? Well, that's a very simple, quick one to do.
And why does that work so well? I mean,
we learn through movement. Our brain, our body, we learn through movement, which begins in utero. We start moving in utero, and we learn at a very early age that movement is what activates everything. So when we're moving, we are exercising what's going on in our brain, and it wakes up the neural networks.
okay, so when you get any kind of of exercise, it's more than just good for your body. It's
Yes,
good for your brain as
correct.
well.
Very good. Yes,
Okay.
very good. Yes, and I've had students that needed to stand and swing their leg to be able to study. Well, that's fine if that's what they needed to do. So movement is vital to learning.
Well, Dorothy, it's been really fascinating talking to you today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Your Hour.
Every weekend, ride with Get TV's Posse.
Saddle my horse.
Laredo,
You looking for trouble?
the Bolt Brothers,
Here come the brides.
Hondo,
I got a job to do.
Casey Jones, Father Murphy, Hawkeye,
I'll find him.
Maverick,
What do I have to do?
and Walker.
Just tell me when and where.
Weekends under the big sky. All weekend, every weekend on Get TV.
Each weekend on KCTU 5.2.
I'm Morris Langworthy, Chief Meteorologist at Newsnet. At Newsnet, we're working around the clock to bring you the latest weather conditions, right where you live and around the country. We're using the latest technology to bring you those conditions. If it's rainy, sunny, or even severe, you'll be prepared. Tune into Newsnet for the latest weather forecast at 12 and 42 past the hour around the clock, only on Newsnet.
Eight years ago, my daughter called to say she was expecting our first grandchild. But I never actually heard her say that. And the first time my granddaughter called me Papa, I didn't hear that one either. Can you imagine? Oh, I know I lost some of my hearing, but I was embarrassed, too stubborn to admit that. For Father's Day a few years ago, Gina and Ryan bought me a nano hearing aid. And my precious Ryan, I love hearing her call me Papa. I love hearing everything again.
What have you not heard by not wearing a hearing aid? You're going to have many more special moments in your life. Don't miss hearing a single one of them. Call Nano. Order your full pair of hearing aids for only $297.
1-800-279-6804.
Make today the day you finally start hearing better again with Nano hearing aids.
1-800-279-6804. 1-800-279-6804.
My first sermon last Sunday. That's right, our pastor had surgery that week, and I was asked to pinch it. The title of my sermon was Then and Now, or Vice Versa. I pointed out the similarities and differences between now and biblical times. Words, people, professions, whatever. For example, a term that has a whole different meaning now than it did back then would be the term getting stoned. See what I mean? Two different meanings there altogether. Now, fortunately, God had a sense of humor back then, as he has a sense of humor now. In those days, he gave the people Samson. Samson was undoubtedly the best comedian of biblical times. Hey, the guy brought the house down. He had real quick comebacks for the people, too. You know, hecklers yell stuff at him. Some guy might yell from the audience, "Hey, Sam, I hear your girlfriend's quite a cut-up." Well, just like that, Samson would pop back with something like, "Oh, yeah? Well, may thou make thy home beneath an incontinent camel and feast on a diet of squashed locusts." See, now, a lot of times the hecklers didn't understand some of Samson's comebacks, but he had a million of them. Yes, God gave them Samson, and today he shows his sense of humor by giving us the Kansas State Board of Education. Critics agree. The majority on the board is the funniest comedy group to come along in centuries. There were so many professions back then that people don't realize now existed back then. Sure were, everybody knows carpenters, innkeepers, farmers, stuff like that, but stockbrokers. Did you understand that they had stockbrokers back then? It's understood that Noah was a stockbroker, probably the best financier in the Bible. Look, Noah was floating his stock while everyone else was in liquidation. Almost threw that parrot overboard, the male parrot, one time when, well, see, back then, like today, Noah didn't want to be called a stockbroker. He wanted to be called a financial advisor. And that one parrot would yell at him every time he walked by. "Stockbroker, stockbroker." Yeah. Well, with people traveling on camels and horses, well, for safety purposes, just like today, they had to have traffic signs back then, too. And the Museum of World Treasures was nice enough to loan me a couple of the originals. Here's one that stood right there on the banks of the Red Sea. That's right. And it cautions, it had a road that goes right up to it, and then here it was. It cautions subject to sudden flooding there at the Red Sea. Pretty good shape, aren't they? I mean, boy, really good shape. Here's one. Here's one that this sign stood just at the entrance of the Sinai Desert. It warns, "Winding road, next 40 years." Yes, the Israelites wandered around in the desert for 40 years, and then, like now, none of the women could ever get any one of the men to ask directions. Miracles. Well, more people probably believed in miracles back then than they do now, but there has been a certain surge, a big surge in people believing in miracles now. Presently, 62% of Americans believe in miracles. Half are churchgoers, and the other half are Kansas City Royals fans. In biblical times, there was no doubt that God was a man. Now, many people think God is a woman. I don't have any problem with God being a woman, except I'm afraid I might wind up in hell and never know why. Please, God, tell me, why did you send me down here? I don't think I have to tell you that. You can see the whole thing, can't you, huh? Yeah, it's and then probably say, "And there's something you'd like to tell me?" No. I was wondering what the pickup lines, Christian pickup lines are. You know, like they have these. In fact, I've been the entertainment for some of the churches, their singles groups, and I always go to them hoping to learn what Christian pickup lines were, and are now. One recently I heard was a pretty good one at one of these singles groups. A guy went up to a girl and said, "Hey, you put the cute in persecution." He didn't do too well. He didn't do too well. I always basically went to whatever church my friends were going to. That's how I chose churches growing up, you know, whoever I was hanging out with. At the time, I had a friend who was a Nazarene, one was a sophomore in high school. That's where I went, and, you know, basketball teams, whoever could play basketball, that's where I went. But there was one girl I was going with at one time. I don't want to say what kind of church it was, but I mean, my gosh, they didn't dance, they didn't go to movies. You couldn't even listen to music. I mean, and here I was doing that. I mean, these people were just one light bulb and a gallon short of gas of being Amish, you know. But anyway, things keep changing and things keep staying the same. as they always will. This is Bucky Walters with Walter Down News.
I wasn't here yesterday when Bucky taped his segment, but I'm sure I would have been laughing out loud if I had been.
And that's the same line I used on you when you first met.
What was that?
Put the cute in persecution.
Yeah, right. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Coming up on KCTU Reports, Sedgwick County voters get apples and oranges.
Were you a victim of a high-pressure or dishonest timeshare sales agent? Were you misled and confused with what you were buying? Did the timeshare fail to deliver what you were promised? Do you feel that you overpaid and just want out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we can help. We're Timeshare Compliance. Our team can legally terminate your timeshare agreement, ending the payments forever. With one simple call, we can help end the financial suffering.
Call 800-230-3818, 800-230-3818.
In a moment's notice, the day's top story can change. The weather can take a turn for the worst, and one score can lead to the upset of a lifetime. That's why NewsNet is working to bring you the latest throughout the day and into the night, with constant updates on developing stories and continuing coverage of the news that affects you. So be sure to join me, Remington Hernandez, every weeknight on NewsNet Evening Edition.
Have old junk cluttered up office space and laying around and wondering what to do with it? Give us a call. American E-Waste Recycling, located 716 South Washington. Phone us at 316-871-9858. Come see Todd. We accept all household, yard equipment type, business items, and medical type items. Food pickups for schools and businesses. American E-Waste Recycling, located 716 South Washington.
Your home is your castle, and it's your biggest investment. It doesn't matter if it needs new exterior paint, new siding, a sunny new deck, a kitchen update with wallpaper removal, or new cabinets with a granite top. Your home can be like new with a paint job or flooring. With 9 years experience and 5 years as a licensed insured business, Los Reyes Painting and Remodeling does residential or commercial work for a reasonable price. To get your free estimate to make your castle look like new, call 316-409-0002.
For patients with cancer like leukemia, lymphoma, and other life-threatening diseases, a cure exists with bone marrow transplant. More young people are needed because these donors provide the greatest chance for transplant success. Please take the first step of being someone's cure by logging on to bethematch.org for your free swab kit. Let's score a touchdown for more people who need a bone marrow transplant.
Well, while losing weight is difficult for many people, it's even more challenging to keep the weight off. By now, most have heard the numbers. 42% of Americans reported gaining an average of 29 pounds during the pandemic. But pre-COVID studies are a reminder that too many of us were already losing, then regaining, then losing the war with our weight. And today we're being joined by surgeon Dr. Vafa Shayani, and he's here to offer hope to viewers about losing weight and keeping it off. Hi, Dr. Shayani. It's good to have you here.
It's great being with you. Thank you.
So we hear a lot about healthy weight range. How do we know what that is?
Well, that's a great question. As healthcare professionals, we tend to use a measure known as body mass index, or BMI, which is the relationship between the individual's weight and their height. A healthy BMI range is a number between 20 and 25. By the time a person reaches a BMI of 27 and higher, they will be referred to as overweight, and a BMI of 30 and higher qualifies as obesity. A BMI of 35 and higher qualifies as morbid obesity. Now, the reason we started using the phrase morbid obesity is because right around that BMI is when we start seeing a much higher incidence of obesity-related health issues in our patients. And I'm talking about things like diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea, and arthritis, just to name a few. And it's around that BMI where we recommend to our patients to have a serious heart-to-heart with their physicians about their options for weight loss.
Okay. So I know most of the people who've struggled with weight are familiar with the term yo-yo dieting. But that method is really harmful for our bodies, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yo-yo dieting is something many of us have experienced ourselves. It starts with excitedly signing up for a diet program and sticking with it for a few days, maybe a couple of weeks out of excitement and initial motivation. But then you realize that dieting comes with a lot of a sense of deprivation. It's not an easy thing to stick to for a long period of time. And many patients ultimately fall off the wagon and go back to their old habits. And when they do that, they will gain back the weight that they lost and often some more. And that yo-yo dieting is not healthy to our bodies, to our organ systems, and perhaps most importantly, it's not healthy for our state of mind. Many of us consider ourselves defeated, or we refer to ourselves as a failure by going through this process of losing the weight and then gaining it all back. And it's those people who experience the yo-yo dieting who eventually say it's time for them to do something a little more long-term effective, and that's when they talk to their doctors about surgical options.
Okay, so let's talk about those surgical options. What are the criterion?
Well, a great place for people to start is an operation that has been FDA approved since 2001. Several hundreds of thousands of patients in the United States have undergone safe and effective lap band surgery. Lap band surgery is an operation that helps people control their portion sizes while they overcome their hunger. The operation is typically performed in an outpatient setting. Patients are able to get back to their normal routine within a couple of days. And perhaps one of the most important attributes of the operation is its adjustability. That means we can tailor the effects of the operation based on the needs of individual patients. And thankfully, the vast majority of insurance companies around the United States cover lap band surgery.
You know, it's funny, when you say overcome their hunger, a lot of times people who are overweight, they're not eating because they're hungry, they're eating out of habit.
You're absolutely right. And there are a lot of different things that contribute to our weight problems. For example, a sedentary lifestyle, something that many of us got accustomed to during the COVID epidemic, is a great contributor to our weight problem. In addition, things like liquid calories, beverages with high calories, high-calorie coffee products, alcohol. We have a lot of patients who say their portion sizes for food are very appropriate, but in between they tend to indulge in liquid calories, and that's what hurts her weight management. Another bad habit is combining eating with other activities, such as sitting at your desk doing work and allowing yourself to nibble for the 8 hours that you're trying to accomplish work, or sitting in front of your favorite TV show and snacking during the evening hours. Those are all habits that we need to get away from. Now, anybody who knows someone who's been successful with weight loss and has managed to keep it away knows that there are two other important factors. One is a healthy amount of good quality sleep, and another one is a great support system at home that reinforces the good eating habits.
Yeah, and I have neither of those at home. So where can our viewers go to learn more, Doctor?
Well, a great place to start is lapband.com. By going on that website, patients can get real factual information about the operation. They can find out if they qualify for the operation, and they can find out who in their community offers the operation so they can go for a consultation. Again, lapband.com, a great place to start.
And you did mention that sometimes insurance covers that?
The vast majority of insurance companies in the United States cover lap band surgery.
Really? So that's interesting. Well, Doctor, it was a real pleasure. Thanks for joining us today.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for inviting me.
And we'll be back with more.
Hair, that's our business. We're Riverside Hair Station at the corner of 11th and Bidding. We're a cool, funky salon with modern styles and a relaxed atmosphere. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Riverside. Specializing in all hair services, we also offer tanning, nails, massage, waxing, and makeup. Gift certificates are always available. So come experience Riverside Hair Station at 816 West 11th or call 264-4807.
Every weekend, ride with Get TV's Posse.
Saddle my horse.
Laredo.
You looking for trouble?
The Bolt Brothers.
Here come the brides.
Hondo.
I got a job to do.
Casey Jones. Father Murphy. Hawkeye.
I'll find him.
Maverick.
What do I have to do?
And Walker.
Just tell me when and where.
Weekends under the big sky. All weekend, every weekend on Get TV.
Each weekend on KCTU 5.2.
Welcome to Jim Morgan's Dry Cleaning. We really appreciate your business.
And we are Wichita.
Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning is a full-service dry cleaner and shirt laundry specializing in high-quality and friendly customer service. We pay close attention to details throughout the entire dry cleaning process. And with over 30 years of experience in the industry, your garments will be clean and pressed to perfection. Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning is truly a full-service dry cleaner. We clean anything from suits, dresses, trousers, comforters, to draperies. What separates Jim Morgan's Fine Dry Cleaning from the other dry cleaners is we only have one location, and Jim is here waiting on you personally and answer any questions, whether you're in our store or on the telephone. Jim makes sure personally that your special requests are taken care of.
Summer is almost here. Let's get our homes ready. Here with 4 project ideas to update our living spaces is home improvement and lifestyle expert Catherine Emery. Hi, Catherine. It's really good to have you here.
Cheryl, I love talking to you always, and let's talk about what I call the most wonderful time of the year, summer, which is right around the corner.
I love summer. So where do we start?
Well, girl, let's enjoy that summer sunshine, but we want to protect ourselves from those harmful UV rays, right? So Cooloo makes amazing shade products. This is their roller shades. So you're going to protect yourself from those UV rays, provide some privacy on your deck, on your patio, your pergola, your porch. This material is so durable and it's naturally mold, mildew, and fade resistant. But what I love, Cheryl, is it's actually breathable. So you can feel that summer breeze blowing through it. It comes in 4 to 10 feet. You can install it yourself. And I love it here. Look at how easy this hand wand is to open and close the blinds or the shades. It's super easy. Cooloo is so smart. They make a ton of other products. You could probably see it in the wide shot. There's a sail shade outside right there in my backyard, but they also make pet beds. So think about it. You don't want Fluffy sitting on the ground on that hard concrete. Lift them up, let that air flow through. It's better on their joints as well. So Cooloo products, just check them out. They're keeping you cool this summer.
Cool. So how do we help keep the yard organized?
You got to invest in a shed, and you know what? You want to make sure that shed is big enough to hold everything you have. So Rubbermaid launched at Home Depot a 10.5 by 7 foot shed. It's Rubbermaid. You know it's durable and it's long lasting. It's got these reinforced walls that are going to hold heavy items. Each panel holds up to 75 pounds. That roof there, it's going to support heavy weather, snowfall, rain. It's weather resistant all year long. I love the shed accessories, Cheryl, because you can really personalize it for what you want. Tools, shovels, garden hoses, sports equipment. You just click on these different panels right there on the wall, and you can build this shed with tools that you have around your house. So go to Home Depot, check it out. Just a great thing to get everything organized in the yard. Right? I always like to buy when I'm going to make an investment. I like to get products that are tried and true, and you know that shed will last you multiple seasons. In fact, when you can't find me this summer, I might be hanging out in that shed.
So do you have a summer project planned?
Of course. Let's paint. So Beyond Paint is going to paint anything in your house besides your walls. So cabinets, furniture, countertops, even glazed tile. It bonds to nearly any surface, no stripping, no sanding, no priming. It's an all-in-one bonder, primer, sealer. It's water-based, so low VOC, non-toxic, easy application, goes on really smooth. It bonds to virtually any surface, masonry, glass, wood, metal. It's for indoor and outdoor usage. I love it. I mean, check out here, this nanotechnology. It's 4 times more durable than regular paint. See these scratches here? It's UV resistant. Save thousands of dollars on a home project for under $150 or less by painting it. So Beyond Paint, I talked to my friends, I said, let people try it, because I guarantee they'll fall in love with it. So go to beyondpaint.com today, put in Best Home, you're gonna get 15% off. Look around your house, Cheryl. I guarantee you have something that could be painted. Get a little pint, get a little quart, check it out, try it out, you'll be hooked.
You know, there's something about paint that like renews everything. It's like a total refresh.
100%. It just gives you a fresh look. And I love the cabinets. I mean, I love all masonry. I have aluminum patio furniture that looks beat down. I'm going to do that next. So I agree. Just a fresh coat of paint. And I love how easy it is to use too. I'm all about easy things.
And if you find you don't like the color, you can always paint over it.
With that no stripping, no sanding, no priming. So I don't know about you, but I'm a lazy painter. I don't want to do all the pre-work. I just want to paint.
Yeah, exactly. Although I do find that if you do spend a lot of time on the prep work, the painting job goes a lot smoother.
Yeah, well, it depends on the paint you use. So I love that nanotechnology that it's really just going to bond to that surface. But I like that low VOC and non-toxic. So you're not, you know, it's you get the best of all worlds. I'm excited. I got to show you on our next SMT all the stuff that I paint in my house.
Okay, cool. So can you share a cleaning shortcut for the outside of our house?
Well, you know me, Cheryl. I like shortcuts. So I look for a 2-in-1. So I love, this is a Rejuvenate house wash and window cleaner all in one bottle. You attach it to your garden hose and you're good to go. Dirt, pollen, any residue on the side of your house, on your windows, it leaves a streak-free shine. No ladder. You can reach up to that second story with it. Just spray right up there. It's safe for your plants and grass, so the runoff is fine. You're going to rinse, spray the formula, wait 2 minutes, and rinse it again, and you're good to go. Don't you love it? Look at that. It can clean everything outside for you with just this Rejuvenate 2-in-1 and a garden hose. Isn't that so simple?
I want one.
Come on over. I'll give you the extra bottle.
Okay. So where can we send our viewers to learn more, Catherine?
Everybody should go to BeTheBestHome.com for info on all these amazing products and more awesome home improvement tips.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure visiting with you, and you've inspired me. Now I need to go home and start a project.
Job done. And it is always a pleasure chatting with you as well. Thanks for having me, and happy summer.
You too. And we'll be back with more.
When your yard needs a cleanup and you need help. When your yard needs mowing and your neighbor's yard looks like this. Your shrubs need some trimming. Wichita Lawn Care does it all. Commercial and residential lawn maintenance. Fully insured, offering contactless billing to keep you safe. Fair, dependable, and on time. Services to match the budget. Excellent customer service. A Christian family business. Highly recommended on Google. Wichita Lawn Care LLC, owner Adam Fry, 316-393-4162. We take pride in what we do.
Hair, that's our business. We're Riverside Hair Station at the corner of 11th and Bidding. We're a cool, funky salon with modern styles and a relaxed atmosphere. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Riverside. Specializing in all hair services, we also offer tanning, nails, massage, waxing, and makeup. Gift certificates are always available. So come experience Riverside Hair Station at 816 West 11th or call 264-4807.
Welcome back to your hour. This next file we're going to run is it was going to be a satellite interview, but it wound up being one that I wasn't able to do for one reason or another. So they sent me a hard copy of it, and it's Dr. Mark Siegel, and I've talked to him before. He's a very interesting man. But this particular topic is about fear, and I think it's a powerful message that he's sending, and I'd like to show it to you and then discuss it afterward.
And you know what? They were afraid you wouldn't be able to run it.
Anyway, let's watch this.
Are we overwhelmed by fear these days? I think that we are. Fear is supposed to be a warning system against imminent danger, but fear is also a very strong emotion, and I think that we react very strongly to our emotions and to fear, and we personalize things that we're really not at any risk for. We're afraid of mad cow disease when actually there's no mad cow disease around and eating beef is safe. We're afraid of bird flu when bird flu is not even in the United States at all, and cooking poultry kills all flu viruses 100% of the time. We hear in the news that plastic teething rings aren't safe, when actually the Consumer Product Safety Commission has said repeatedly that they are safe. I've actually looked at studies that have shown that plastic teething rings are safe. We have a problem with our fear radar these days. Our fear radar is broken. We think, oh, conventional ovens, those must be safe. And when in reality, if you leave your oven on, you actually can cause a fire. And ovens have plenty of bacteria in them if they're not cleaned properly. That can be a problem. Whereas microwave ovens, we get an email, oh, those aren't safe. In reality, I think that microwave ovens are very safe. And the FDA has said on their website that microwavable plastics are safe. We need a system whereby we use fear to protect us against things that can really get us. Now, riding a bicycle, for example, is an example of where you can actually get very harmed. And we don't think of that enough. We need our plastic safety helmets to protect us when we ride bicycles or when we're in a car. We need to use our seatbelts. 50 million people worldwide every year get injured in car accidents. We need our car seats to protect our infants. These are examples of using fear properly. But fear against a remote risk like bird flu, that's an improper use of fear. We need a new fear radar. This is Dr. Mark Siegel.
Didn't you think that was interesting?
Yes, it was. You know, fear is a weapon.
Yeah,
you know,
it can be, and I think sometimes that weapon is used against us by unexpected sources.
Yeah, our own government, and friends, and so forth. But we have to watch out. Parents, that's right. But you have to watch out because fear is something that it can be overwhelming and it can actually ruin your life.
Well, yeah, I know people that worry about this seeming to me the stupidest things.
That's right.
And I think, gosh, what are they going to do when the big things hit, you know?
Well, for instance, even some of the churches, some of the different faiths, their saying is, God will do such and such to you. You know, he'll smite you.
If you don't pay us such, oh no.
Yeah, if you don't tithe, he's going to smite you.
Yeah.
But people use that, and you have to kind of take it with not a grain of salt, but you set your own priorities of what fears are
Yeah.
are realistic.
Right, and I think, you know, a lot of times, things that have not affected anyone here yet, for instance, the things that Mark Siegel brought up, mad cow disease, bird flu, you know, have we heard of a single case of any of these things in the United States that have been a problem?
Haven't seen any birds barfing or anything else. I don't think it exists around here.
But, you know, people, you hear people that, I know one lady that used to eat a lot of chicken, and she won't eat chicken now because she's afraid of the bird flu, and I'm thinking, most of the time, chicken is cooked.
So she's eating beef, which other people are afraid of because of cholesterol.
Well, no, actually, she's not eating any kind of meat at all. Nothing, no meat.
Have you heard about the flu that's celery?
Celery flu.
Celery flu. We're going to start a new one here. Celery. And radish flu. Radish rash.
But anyway, I just think it's important that people start to learn to recognize the difference between the fears that are realistic and the fears that are not.
Mm-hmm.
What did he call it? We need a new fear
Fear of fear?
filter. Fear filter.
Fear filter. Well, we have to have a fear of fear. That's what we have to do.
There you go.
What have we got coming up tomorrow?
Well,
I fear we might run out of time before we get to tell
oh
people.
no, we got lots of time yet. Tomorrow, Jan Reckers will be back with us from Interworks Holistic Health Center. She's our nutrition specialist. She'll talk about bird flu.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You talk about Germany.
Yes.
That's where she's
yes.
been.
We'll have R.J. Dickens, of course, with KCTU Reports. And Friday, Jennifer Heineke from the Wichita Public Library will be back with us. And I don't think she's going to be talking about Germany. She's been gone, but she didn't go to Germany. Anyway, and then starting Monday, we'll be back on our regular schedule.
She picked just the time to go. She was gone during River Festival.
I don't think that was an accident.
No, I don't think it was either. Plan ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was deliberate.
Well, since basically she works down in the middle of what
Sure.
was happening down there.
Well, she knows how getting around downtown is at the best of times can sometimes be difficult. But during River Festival, it's absolutely crazy. And she thought, I don't need this.
Another fear is not being able to find a parking place.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I tell you what, that's a real fear downtown.
That's not a fear, that's a reality.
As you were talking earlier with Dee Stewart about the parking situation, it's already terrible downtown.
Oh, it's awful.
And they're going to have to do something or not build where they want to build.
Yeah, when they started talking about relying heavily on existing parking downtown, everybody who's ever been downtown is sitting there scratching their heads going, existing parking? Did I miss something?
It's even hard, just a block and a half from there, there's a Wendy's that we frequent. And even Wendy's is short on parking, and they put more parking to the back, and they're still short. So if they're doing business and there's an event over there, you can't count on those at 25 or 30 parking places. Our own parking lot out back, and we're 20 blocks east of there. Actually, we're 14 blocks east of where the arena would be. Our parking lot is full most of the time. Not all our cars, but a lot of people use the parking lot.
Oh yeah, our parking lot gets a lot of activity.
Until we get a mass transit, so we can hop on a train or a bus that runs past 6 o'clock at night.
Or a trolley or something.
That's right. Until we get that, our parking is going to be a big problem.
Yeah, and I really think that it's unrealistic of the county commission to think that they can sneak a big arena in town and not include adequate parking in the plan.
When we had a venue called the Forum at one time. We're really hooked on that name. Anyway, the city came out, and we had to have so many parking places per person that can be the capacity.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was one parking place per every 2.5 people or something.
Yeah. Well, what happens is the city and the county don't have to follow their own rules.
Yeah, they waive the restrictions for themselves.
So that gets them in trouble. I know of another arena that's under consideration of being built, and they've already 5,000 people, 2,000 cars. That's simple. They're making there's provisions made for it already.
Yeah, and that's just matter of fact. I mean that they're figuring what's the point of having a venue if you're not going to include
We'll have a
way for
capacity
people to get there.
in our new auditorium. We will have a capacity of 600 people,
Mhm.
and we'll have 300 cars. So we're not going to cut people up. It's going to be 2 people per car.
Mhm. Well, and I'm really looking forward to getting moved over there. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. and
I'm not a
take
good
long
waiter.
time, I know.
I'm not patient. Just get it done, you know?
Get her done. Oh, Larry the cable guy.
No, no.
Anyway, well, we hope you've enjoyed today's program. We enjoyed bringing it to you, and I promise that we'll be here tomorrow.
Same time, same channel. We're looking for you. We're going to take roll.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great afternoon.
You're watching KCTU 5, Wichita and the world.